Hello viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel Prakash Kulkarni's lectures. Today in geography you are going to study Unit 6 India Water Resources. You have studied soil, that is soil resources. You have studied about forest resources. Then today in this class you are going to study about water resources of India. In this episode, we study the following concepts: importance of water resources, the major rivers of India, meaning of irrigation and its need, types of irrigation and their distribution, and finally, multi-purpose river valley projects. Now let's come to importance of water. Already you are using water in day-to-day life, but still let's study the importance of water because it is a very precious resource to us. Water is one of the natural resources. It is basic necessity of life. We need water for drinking, cooking, washing, agriculture, generation of hydroelectricity, industries, navigation, fishing, etc. Water resources can be divided into two types. One is surface water resources, for example, rainfall, rivers, lakes, tanks, and springs. The second one is groundwater resources, mainly example is well water. India has many river systems. They are the natural resources of the country. The rivers of North India are known as the Himalayan rivers. The Brahmaputra rises near Lake Manasa Sarovara. It is called Sangpo in Tibet, Jamuna in Bangladesh. The second one is Indus. The river Indus or Sindhu rises near Mount Kailash. The tributaries are Jhelum, Chenab, Beas, Ravi, and Sutlej. They flow into the Arabian Sea. Third one is the Ganga river. It is the largest river which rises at Gangotri and flows into the Bay of Bengal. Major tributaries are Yamuna, Ghagra, Gandak, Ramaganga, Gomati, Sharada, Son, and Kosi. Out of all these tributaries, Yamuna is the longest tributary. Please remember, the North Indian rivers are known as the Himalayan rivers. Three important rivers are B-I-G, big, B for Brahmaputra, I for Indus, G for Ganges. Please remember these three rivers of North India. Now, the rivers of North India are also known as the Himalayan rivers. They may ask you in the examination. So, what are the two types of river systems in India? So, one is the Himalayan river system, another one is the peninsular river system that you are going to study later. Now, in the map you can see, now first one is Brahmaputra. You can see it is a passes through Assam and joins Bay of Bengal, and it is through Bangladesh, it joins Bay of Bengal. Then Ganges, you can see, you can have a look at this. Delhi is situated on the river Yamuna. So Ganga and Yamuna are the major tributaries of Ganges. And coming to the Indus river, so which rises at Mount Kailash and through Pakistan it joins the Arabian Sea. The Brahmaputra, the Indus river, the Ganga river. Coming to the rivers of peninsular India. Now these we classify into two categories. One is the rivers joining the Bay of Bengal. Second one is river joining the Arabian Sea. Now let's come to the river joining the Bay of Bengal. Now you can see these rivers in the map, India map, from north to south I have come. The first one is Mahanadi, that is in Odisha. It rises at Shiva range. The second one is Godavari. Godavari river is also known as Dakshina Ganga. It rises at Himalayas. It rises at the Western Ghats at Triambak. The third one is Krishna river. This also rises at the Western Ghats near Mahabaleshwar. And the southernmost river is Kaveri. It rises at Talakaveri. Now these rivers are long. They have long course and they join Bay of Bengal. Coming to the Arabian Sea joining rivers. Mainly we study here two, Narmada river and Tapi or Tapti river. Narmada river rises at Amarkantak range, whereas Tapi or Tapti rises at Multai. Apart from Narmada and Tapi, we have Sabarmati, Mandvi and Juari in Goa, Bedati, Sharavati, Kali, Netravati in Karnataka, and the Periyar in Kerala. These are west flowing rivers. They are joining the Arabian Sea and they are small rivers. The rivers of peninsular India. They rise in the Western Ghats. Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Narmada, Tapi and their tributaries. Mahanadi rises at Shiva range. Godavari is the longest river, rises in Triambak. Krishna rises near Mahabaleshwar. Main tributaries are Bhima, Tungabhadra, Koyna, Ghataprabha and Malaprabha. Kaveri river rises at Talakaveri in Kodugu. The Hemavati, Shimsha, Kapila, Arkavati, Lakshmana Tirtha, Suvarnavati and Bhavani are the main tributaries of Kaveri river. Now, so far we have studied about rivers systems of India. Let's come to irrigation. What is irrigation? Mention its main types in India. Irrigation means the artificial supply of water for the purpose of agriculture. You know that India is an agricultural country. Agriculture needs water, therefore it is an artificial supply of water for agriculture. It refers to the supply of water to agricultural land from rivers, reservoirs, tanks or from underground sources. Three types of irrigation are well, tank and canal. Well, tank and canal. Importance of irrigation in India. India is an agricultural country, therefore it needs a regular and sufficient supply of water. Agricultural seasons in India depend mainly on monsoon rainfall, both southwest monsoon and southeast monsoons. You have studied about agricultural seasons. So we have Kharif season during southwest monsoon period and Rabi season during northeast monsoon period or northeast monsoon season. It is seasonal, that means rainfall is seasonal, uncertain and unevenly distributed. So irrigation is important in India. Let us study one by one three types of irrigation. The first one is well irrigation. It accounts for 60.7% of total irrigated area. Now, the importance and distribution of well irrigation. It is important type of irrigation in India. Well irrigation is largely practiced in the states in the Ganga plain regions. In South India, we can find well irrigation in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and Odisha. There are two types of wells, namely open wells and tube wells. You can see pictures of well irrigation, two types. One is open well, you have seen, and tube well, that is through pumps. We supply water to the fields. Next one is tank irrigation, which contributes 3% of the total irrigated area. It is very less. A tank is a natural or man-made hollow on the earth's surface into which rainwater is collected. Most of the tanks are non-perennial, that means dry during summer season. Only 3% of the total irrigated area is under tank irrigation. Mainly found in Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and UP. Except Rajasthan and UP, almost all states are in Deccan Plateau. Because of undulating of landforms, we find more tank irrigation in peninsular India than northern plains. You can have a look at the photos. So first one is natural tank irrigation and second one is artificial tank irrigation. Coming to third type of irrigation, that is canal irrigation. It accounts for about 27% of the total irrigated area. India has one of the world's largest canal systems. The government is responsible for construction and maintenance of canals. It is not possible by private persons. There are two types of canals. One is inundation canals. In this type, water is drawn directly from the river without building dam. The second one is perennial canals. In this type, dams are constructed across the rivers. You can have a look at the photos here. The first one is inundation canal. Second one is perennial canal. Canal irrigation in India. So once you have got the idea of canal, you think of rivers. Have a look at the map now. So in the northern part of India, you can see Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, almost North Indian plain states. And coming to southern part of India, you can see Odisha, where Mahanadi is there, and in Andhra Pradesh, Godavari and Krishna rivers are there, and Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, we have Kaveri. So you can see more canal irrigation in the eastern part of southern India. Recently, other types of irrigations have been introduced, such as sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation, in order to use water efficiently and to check soil erosion. Now, in the first photo, you can see sprinkler irrigation and you can see drip irrigation. Drip means drop. So, water falls drop by drop, so that it is useful for particularly growing of plants and vegetables. India has the largest area under irrigation in the world, and China ranks second. What is a multi-purpose river valley project? Now, the river valley projects which provide multiple benefits are called multi-purpose river valley projects. What are the main aims? The main aims are to provide recreational facilities, to generate hydroelectricity, to control the flood during rainy season, to provide water for industries and irrigation, to provide water for domestic purposes, to develop inland waterways and fishing, to reclaim land for afforestation. And last one is to prevent soil erosion. Please remember the bold letters words you can see. Try to remember 1, 2, 3. Bold words are recreation, electricity, flood. REF, ref. In letter writing, reference is referred as ref. You remember ref, recreation, electricity, flood. So next one is India, ref India, India's. I for industries and irrigation, in, that is D for domestic, then inland waterways, A for afforestation, S for soil erosion. India's, ref India's. This way you can remember these points. Now let us study multi-purpose river valley projects of India. Now you see the projects and built across the river. The first one is Damodar Valley, built across river Damodar. Second one is Bhakarnangal, that is built across Sutlej in Himachal Pradesh. Third one is Hirakud project, it is in Mahanadi, Orissa state, O for Orissa. Tungabhadra is built across Tungabhadra river, it is in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. Upper Krishna, this is built across Krishna river, that is northern part of Karnataka. Kosi project, it is built across river Kosi. Now the share is between India and Nepal. And Rihand Valley, it is in Rihand in UP. Nagarjuna Sagara, that is built across Krishna in Telangana. Now all these projects have been shown on India map. They may ask you locate particular river valley projects in India for location. Therefore study India map very carefully. Now let's study one by one multi-purpose river valley projects. Some points are here to remember from the point of examination. The first one is Damodar Valley project. It is in West Bengal. W means West Bengal. It is the first multi-purpose valley project in India. Now this project is shared by Bihar and West Bengal state. Earlier Damodar river was called as Sorrow of Bengal. Now this project is designed on the lines of Tennessee Valley Authority of the United States of America. What are the main objectives of this project? Flood control, irrigation, industries, navigation, electric power generation, afforestation, control soil erosion, mining, industries, inland fishing are the objectives. There are 4 dams at Tilaya, Konar, Maithon and Panchat Hill, and 3 thermal power stations are built at Bokaro, Durgapur and Chandrapur. The second one is Bhakra Nangal. It is built across river Sutlej. It is shared by Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan. The reservoir created by the dam is called Gobind Sagar. What are the objectives? Flood control, irrigation, navigation, hydroelectric power, afforestation, control of soil erosion. Bhakra Dam is 226 meters high and it is a high gravity dam. The third one is Hirakud project. It is in Odisha state and it is the longest dam in India. 3 dams are constructed on river Mahanadi at Hirakud, Tikarapara and Naraj. Objectives: flood control, irrigation and industries, navigation, hydroelectric power, afforestation, control soil erosion. Mining industries, inland fishing. Fourth one is Tungabhadra project. It is shared by Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh government. The reservoir is created by this dam is called Pampa Sagar. Remember Pampa Sagar. Tungabhadra is a tributary of Krishna river. Dam is constructed at Mallapuram near Hospete. Remember Mallapuram name near Hospete. The objectives are provide irrigation, hydroelectric power and inland fisheries. The fifth one is Upper Krishna project. It is in Karnataka state. Vijaypura, Kalaburgi, Yadgir and parts of Belgaum districts benefit from this project. It is built across river Krishna in North Karnataka. 2 dams have been built, namely Alamatti in Basavana Bagewadi Taluk and Narayanpura near Siddhapur village in Muddebihar Taluk. The sixth one is the Kosi project. It is a joint venture of India and Nepal. It is built across river Kosi near Hanuman Nagar in Nepal. The main objectives of this project are flood control, irrigation, industries, navigation, hydroelectric power, inland fishing. The seventh one is Rihand Valley project. It is in Uttar Pradesh. Built in Uttar Pradesh across Rihand river. It is a tributary of the Son. The objectives of this project are flood control, soil erosion, inland fishing, irrigation and power generation. The reservoir created by this dam is called Gobind Ballabh Pant Sagar. The eighth one is the Nagarjuna Sagar project. It is in Telangana state. Now, it is built across the river Krishna near Nagarjuna Konda in Telangana. Remember Nagarjuna Konda, frequently asked in the examinations. Irrigation and power generation are the main objectives. The right bank canal of Nagarjuna Sagar project is called Jawahar Canal. The left bank canal is called Lal Bahadur Canal. With this, we conclude this episode. Thank you. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get updates on new videos. Thank you once again.